So again, we're talking about today, this session is about how do we deliver our content through video, because we don't have the luxury anymore of standing in front of our students using our whiteboards or our classroom materials behind us. We don't have that ability anymore. So this session is a lot on what are some tools that are available to us that we can use in our classroom, in our online classroom, to get our students involved and to engage them through some video content. So I want to point you into the direction of our website that we have created for the NTI learning, and that is this website right here. You can get to it by typing in this bit.ly, bit.ly/FCPSNTI. And this is the resources that we have been working on as we've been going through this transition into online learning from our department. So it has a ton of information there regarding how to do a bunch of different stuff. And each of these resources have several different information on there so that you can look around and see. So again, this also lives underneath your toolbar on your bookmarks. There's a little tab right here that says NTI Bookmarks. If you're signed in with your Fayette County email address and you're using Chrome, you should see that NTI Bookmarks there. If you don't, it's probably because you're not signed into Chrome with your school account. But right here is the quick link that you can go into this website, and it'll take you to our homepage, which is how some of our sessions that we have in our virtual office help. So if you ever get stumped, feel free to reach out to us. For this week, we're here until 3:30 today on Thursday and 5 on Wednesday and Friday. All right, so I want to get started in talking about, there are several different platforms that we have, and I want to kind of give you an overview of the different ones, and then I can point you in the directions of where to go for some additional resources and help on those things that you might be interested in your classes. So to get started, we're going to start on this tab that is underneath our Teacher Resource Center and resources, and we're going to go down to our online meeting tools. Now, our online meeting tools, this has two purposes in my opinion. The first purpose is for us to have a meeting like we're having right now. So if we're teaching our students and we're wanting to have this synchronized learning where we're all into this together and we're learning it at the same time, that is what we're going to use Google Meet and Zoom for. Now, as a district, we're recommending the use of Meet over Zoom with students, but we are not requiring one or the other, so you pick your preference and just make sure that you are securing your meetings so that you can prevent anything from outside happening. And with everything, it's changing constantly because of all of the new stuff that is happening. So we are also keeping our directions up to date on our website so that you can use it. Now, the benefit of this is to have that ability, whereas right now, we don't really, I have turned that feature off, but normally you would have the ability to have a class discussion like you're used to inside your classroom, where you're presenting information, you're allowing your students to unmute their microphones, and you're having a conversation with them if that's what you want. So you're gonna use one of those two platforms for that. Now, I will say that I do recommend the main being secure on this one is that you do not publish your link to a public-facing website or social media account or anything that's going to be pointed to the public, so that somebody actually doesn't get your link into your account for both Meet and Zoom, because neither one of them are truly locked down from people coming outside of the district. There are some lockdown features with Meet, which is why we're promoting Meet over Zoom for students, but it's really a personal preference on which one you choose. And it's just a way for you to interact with your students on a platform that is similar to what you would be using in your classroom. But now, it's not perfect. There are several hiccups that you're going to run into with using any of these tools that we have. And one of those being the internet speed of your student. So if your student doesn't have a strong internet connection, it's going to cause them to have hiccups or delays, or not even just the students. Maybe your internet is struggling because the demand for the internet is so high right now that sometimes even our stronger internets that we might have at our house are being weakened because of all the people that are using it. So if you're wanting to lower your usage, have your students turn off their camera. when you're talking to them and wanting to have that conversation, because that's going to prevent it's going to lower their bandwidth, which is the amount of internet that they're being required to take from their device. So it's going to lower that for them so that they can have a better, they can still see you, but they don't have to have everybody in the class see all their little pictures, which is what's pulling down their internet speeds to make it a little bit more challenging for them. Also, both of these features give you the ability to record and upload. So if you're wanting to have a class meeting, you can record that class meeting and upload it into your classroom using either Google Classroom or Canvas to deliver that content for students that may not have been able to join you live. Or you can use this to record your own content that you're putting on there for your students to refer back to. While we're talking about both of these platforms, I want to draw your attention down here to this innovative ideas and online hacks. So this is something that would benefit a lot of our math teachers and anybody that has to deal with handwriting and you're working on using something that would be similar to your document camera that you would be using in your classroom. Now, obviously, your document camera is probably still sitting in your building and it's not at your house unless you were lucky enough to get to bring it home and then having to troubleshoot that. But these are some ways that you can use a document camera style inside your Zoom session or inside your Google Meet. So these live on that document, on that website for the innovative hacks. So these are some ways that some people have been posting on social media for using your cell phone and your computer, and your cell phone serves as your document camera. So what you'll do is you'll place your camera on a way that you can have the camera facing down so that you're able to write, and then you can use this to display on your screen, similar to how you would share your videos or share your screen through those platforms, either one of those platforms. It works the same way. So they're actually able to see you writing and working through math problems or any kind of other thing that you would be using for your document camera. You can use your phone and your camera, and with both of them, they allow you to be in the same session at the same time with the same account. So you can be, like I can be the one for my computer, and then I can also sign in with my phone, and we can interact here. So if you don't have these fancy locker stands or some books with a little shelf that can go over it, I've recreated some for you. So here are some ones that I've done that have really helped, and I use Zoom. So Zoom is my preferred one, and like I said, you can use it. It's not being shut down. So just make sure you lock down your Zoom class before you do anything else. So if you notice right here, this is nothing special. I went to my cupboard in my house. I found 4 cans and a box of spaghetti. Now, at one time, spaghetti was not able to be found in any of our grocery stores, but it's starting to come around. And so what it did was it provided me a way that I can put my phone. If you look at this one, my phone's sitting on top of my spaghetti box right here. And then I have just a dry erase board, a piece of paper, some pens, some markers. Probably you should use markers over pens because it'll show up better under camera. But this is what I'm using as my whiteboard or my document camera. And yes, you can see in here that my cans show up, but I don't care about that. My job is to make sure that kids get high quality education and not so much a high quality video. So that is a way for you to use what you have in your house to get you a document camera, because I know that some people really need document cameras. And then there's also another one here. Again, this is one that I did after seeing some online. I just took a tall cup, like a Yeti cup that's really tall and is enough to balance my phone right here, and then I can still write below my phone and I can use that. So we have to be creative in our online spaces. Now, this would not work if I was trying to do something that I was recording using a different piece of software. I can't have 2 camera inputs. But if I'm wanting to record something like that, I want to go ahead and use my 2 different inputs and use either Google Meet or Zoom to record my session and record my content for them. So that's besides using this to have a two-way conversation with our students, we can also use it to record our content and upload that content into our Google Classroom or our Canvas. So that is one of the ways that you can use it to do that. Now, I'm now going to take you into the online tools tab here, and I'm going to talk you through a few of the different options that we have. The first one here is Flipgrid, and if you haven't heard of Flipgrid, what Flipgrid is a way for students to have a chance to be on video. They record themselves on video, and then they submit that video to you, but then you can also allow students to have that video be a way for them to have discussions with their class. So this is a great example. I used to teach orchestra before I had this job, and I would use Flipgrid to have students perform, and then they could take that performance of their single track and then use their other students can hop on with their phones, with their Chromebooks, with anything that has it, and they can say, hey, I loved what you did right here. And they're giving feedback, peer feedback for their classmates. You also have the ability to turn off that feature so that you can approve all of the messages before each of the kids come in. But Flipgrid is something that just allows for them to have more of that connection that they're missing outside of the classroom, because also school is social. And so this gives them the social aspect without interrupting the content. So they're still having the chance to listen to their friends, respond to their friends, and then go back and have a peer discussion with them. So it doesn't have to be just about music. It could be about anything, any topic. They could be working through their math problem and say, this is how I did my math problem. Hold it up to the screen or use the whiteboard feature. There's a lot of features in Flipgrid that are awesome. So I want to point you to these if this is something you're interested in. We have some slides here for beginners. So to get started from the very beginning, Ashley has been doing a great job of doing that. There's also a Zoom session just like this one that was recorded and uploaded. It is right here, this beginner one, on how to get started. And so you can see exactly how this works in how students, what it looks like for students. So Flipgrid is a great tool for that interaction that maybe your students are missing right now thanks to our current situation. Now, I really enjoy using Screencastify. I've used Screencastify for a long time. And what Screencastify is it's basically a way for you to record what's on your screen, have you in there as the picture as well, and so that you're able to share on the screen, present your information, and then share it directly to your classroom or Canvas. And all it is a little extension on Chrome. So you have to be on a computer that has Chrome installed, or you have to be on a Chromebook to get Screencastify on there. And basically you have three different options here with Screencastify. And in Screencastify, you have a browser tab. This browser tab will record anything that you select for that one browser. So I strongly don't recommend the browser tab. Here's the reason why I don't recommend that. Because if I am inside that browser and then I click a link, let's say I click on a YouTube link that I want my kids to go watch, well, it's going to open up a new tab. And if it opens up a new tab, my students cannot see what I'm talking about because I shared only that browser. So I recommend only two of the three. I recommend the desktop because that's going to show everything that you have on your screen. So if you accidentally click or you go somewhere else, it's going to follow you there. And I use this webcam. Now, students can also use this, and it will allow them to have a similar type of feature that they can do a webcast, and they can submit that back to you. So the desktop feature here also allows you to have your picture, a little icon at the bottom of the screen. So the students can still see your face. They can still pay attention to you. And this is a great little tool that I've used all the time. There is a code here that you have to put in, and what this does is it takes your account from the free version, which only gives you 5 minutes, and it posts to get you up to unlimited time so that you can use this beyond the 5 minutes. You can make unlimited recordings right now, and you have unlimited time. After May 31st or after they're done with their promotional time period, it will go back down to 5 minutes, but you still have created all of this content that you can use for the years to come. Or maybe you can use it as a reteaching tool for your students that are struggling next year. So think about this as a way of you're building, yes, you're in the crisis mode right now, but you're also building content for your future classrooms that you can then go back and reuse. All of Screencastify saves directly into your Google Drive in a Screencastify folder, so you can use that same clip over and over again, and you can use it for everything. So it's a great way to reteach students as well. If you're wanting to check and see if students are actually doing the work and you're not just fast forwarding the video to the very end, I'm going to point you here to EdPuzzle. And what EdPuzzle does is it allows you, you have to publish it to YouTube, but it allows you to upload videos that you take from, let's say, Screencastify or your Zoom meetings, and you put them onto your YouTube channel, because everybody has a YouTube channel through Fayette County. Once you put them onto EdPuzzle, or you find something from YouTube that you want your students to watch, you can then go in here and create a quiz that will watch the video and then stop them at that point where you want them to answer the question. So they have to watch the video and answer the question right there. So you're using formative assessments right there. Did you learn what I said you learned? Yes? Okay. Well, you can go on. No? All right, we're going to rewatch what we just learned. Okay, so you can set it up to do all of that. And then you can also, they cannot fast forward. So they're not going to be able to go beyond where that question is. So if the question is in the middle, they can't fast forward to the end to get to the questions like they would if you were doing a Google form or something like that. They don't actually have to even watch the video if you're doing a Google form to get it to work. So I'm going to just show you real quick what it looks like. I think I have one saved in here for, I did have one. Let me see. It may not be, but I can show you this one here. So this is the trailer for The Little Mermaid. And you can see that each of these spots right here are questions that have been asked by somebody. So they have to answer the question based on what they've seen in the YouTube video. So this is a way for you to have your students respond to you by the video that you have created or you find on YouTube. You don't actually have to have your own content. There's plenty of content on YouTube, but I do recommend that you always watch your videos before posting to your students. So I thought I had one. I had one saved. I don't know where it went, but it's been a month or so since I've looked at this. But it's just a way for you to test your knowledge so that you can see. So let me go into this and assign it, and then we can see what it looks like here for anybody coming in, so that you can kind of see what it would look like for a student. So they're going to watch this video, and then it's going to get to this spot, and it's going to stop them. The video is going to stop, and the video is going to ask the question right here: what is Ariel, or who is Ariel in love with? And if you say the Sea Witch, it's going to hit submit and say, oh, that wasn't it right. So you have the option to rewatch it if you want to, or you have the option to continue. You can also, I think, set that up to require a rewatch if you want to as well. So that is how this works. So we have quite a bit of tools available to us for delivering our content. It's all about getting in there and trying it out and not feeling overwhelmed. So I've presented a lot of tools for you, but I don't want you to feel like you're overwhelmed, because it's an overwhelming time. Here's my suggestion. Pick one. Don't try and do all of them. If you think, oh, I really want to try Screencastify, try Screencastify. If your video is horrible, it's okay. Don't redo it. Don't spend all of your time trying to make this perfect YouTube video for your students to watch. that's not the reality. The reality is we need to get the content out there to the students so that they're learning. So don't feel like you have to have this perfect published little video for your students to watch, because we're not perfect, and we're not going to be perfect making videos for sure. We just want to make sure that our students, one, see us, and two, have that connection that they are missing right now inside this virtual world that we're not even allowed to leave our house for. So these are a few of our tools that we have. I'm going to get off my soapbox on that. And I'm just going to point you back here to the website to get more information. We also have some sessions throughout this week on our live session, and I'm sure we'll have more next week as well on these specific things. And if you would like to learn more about them and you get stumped, please feel free to jump on to one of our office hours. We're all taking office hours during that virtual time, which is on our homepage. And it's somebody from our staff that's there. And if you have any questions, this link right here will take you to us so that we can help you through this. All right, so does anybody have any questions for me? All right. Well, if I don't have any questions, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. Thank you all for coming today. Keep your heads above water. Do one thing at a time. You don't have to have a perfect looking classroom online. It's not something that you're being asked to, even if that's what your principal is saying. Just say, I'm doing it one day at a time. One day at a time, that's all we can ask for. All right. Everyone have a great day, and I hope that you have found something helpful. And just so you know, all of our sessions are saved on this website, so that you can go and look here for these sessions for replay.